a festive, Merry Christmas to you all. This is the Fanatical Elves post-game show, and we are celebrating on Christmas Eve as the Browns trounce those Houston Texans. My goodness, did they have a hell of a game. So many things to talk about. I'm going to turn it over to you. Sam, welcome. Steve, welcome. Elliot, welcome. Merry Christmas to you all. And thanks for being here. Whoever wants to go first, we're going to talk about this game and how exciting it is and that the possibilities are endless. So, Steve, why don't we start with you and then go around the room?
All right. Great game. Joe Flacco. Amari Cooper.
MVP. I'm kidding.
MVP.
Defense played great on the road. Browns got off to a fast start. Then they muddled for 3 possessions. Then all of a sudden, boom, Flacco again to Amari Cooper.
Yes.
And they gave up that damn kick return. I hate that. Bubba Ventrone, very pissed. But defense showed up on the road. Loved it.
Yeah. We talked about that pregame. Yep. That was going to be a big thing, and they certainly did. Just so many things. Yeah. I got to throw out Amari Cooper's name. We got to talk about him here.
260.
Elliot, Sam. What he did, and the fact that they had to bring him back into then he actually broke Josh Gordon's old record, which just kind of funny that happened the way it did, because honestly, they weren't going to play him unless the Browns gave up. Their backups gave up 2 touchdowns. They had to bring back in Flacco and the boys with about 3 or 4 minutes to go in the game, in which Cooper caught an extra pass, which I think took him over the top.
It did.
So just amazing stuff. Keep going here. Elliot, welcome. We haven't talked to you in a while. The Oracle Speaks show, doing great. Thank you so much for your contributions here to the Fanatical Elves Network. We love you. And we're happy you're here with us. What do you think about Amari Cooper and the Brownies? I know you caught a little bit of it.
Well, I'm utterly shocked. It doesn't seem possible that you could. Well, I want to win all the games by field goals, basically. I want to play really conservative football. I want to let the defense win the game, which they did.
Yes.
I'd rather not play long ball. It sounds like heresy. I'll take it. I'd rather not have to win this way week after week after week. Flacco continues to amaze us. Cooper is an unbelievable receiver. In my mind, if you factor in the fact that he has not had the best of quarterbacks to launch the ball at him, I think he's been one of the premier receivers in the NFL. He really has. I think he really gets my vote for all pro at the wide receiver position. And this performance really cements it. He's had the opportunity to have a pocket passer throw the ball to him, and he's been tremendous, absolutely tremendous. There's been nothing like it since he's connected with Flacco. So that is absolutely tremendous. Of course, getting the kicker injured, Hunter, underscores a fundamental weakness that I continue to complain about, is that you have to have backups on the practice squad for emergencies. And I've been screaming and crying that I want to have extra quarterback. I want to have an extra field goal kicker, especially, and also punter, because you need to have people that are familiar with the unique conditions of Cleveland Stadium that you can use if you have to. And I also believe that you need to have competition. Competition makes people better.
Yep.
That was the problem with Cade York, because he never had anybody to compete with. Because why? We thought we needed to coddle him and protect him from competition.
Sure.
I hurt his feelings. And that's the way that you treat people when they're in kindergarten. And we treated him like a kindergarten performer. And that's basically what we got. And now we're scrounging around saying, gee, wouldn't it have been nice if we'd have had somebody that had been trained up to kick in Cleveland freaking Stadium, because we got somebody on Thursday.
But I feel bad about the fact that Dustin Hopkins was 6 points away from breaking. I mean, it's funny. The gods of the NFL speak, because he was 6 points away from beating Jim Brown's record. He may end up breaking it later this season, but I mean, it was something that people were talking about.
Yeah, he got 2 points today.
Well, that's true. So he's 4 away. Elliot, we'll come right back to you. Sam, I want to welcome you here down. I know you're down there in Dallas. What a great game to watch. What do you think?
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, with the whole Dustin Hopkins, how do you say the punter's name? I've never been good at it.
Bojorquez.
I'm not even going to try and say that. I'm just going to call him.
We're from Cleveland, so
I'll just call him the Cleveland's punter. But losing both of them, punter is an underrated, really important position in the NFL. Like my dad always used to say, if you ever want to make the NFL, just learn how to long snap.
No, it's not important at all. We don't even need to have a backup. So you're wrong about that.
Just learn how to long snap or punt. But punter is a really important position that people don't think about. And so losing him is going to suck. And then kicker is also a position that the Cowboys had to, just looking at the Cowboys. I mean, last year, Brett Maher was great, but then in the postseason, he couldn't kick a field goal if his life depended on it. And so I feel like having a good kicker is also an important position. And so losing both of those is going to make it tough, especially for extra points and field goals. Like if you're 30 yards away, normally every NFL fan would be like, yeah, kick a field goal. And it's like such second nature, these kickers, that we don't even think about it. And then when they're gone, it's a whole ordeal. You have to either convert the 4th down or throw out your tight end to try and kick. And so
I'm just surprised.
It's a big loss.
It is, and I know Elliot, you guys are both. I mean, it is funny. I mean, Elliot, you guys are talking about something that's very important, that they don't carry these. And I don't think most teams carry.
No, they don't,
especially on game day. So
carry a backup kicker.
Yeah, you almost wondered if they could have gone. I mean, it didn't look like he was that hobbled. And it looked like he kept talking to various players, Hopkins, and then, throughout.
Hopkins has a hamstring. They're going to have to sign a kicker before Thursday.
Okay.
Bojorquez looked like he was okay. Maybe he's walking around, so he might be able to play Thursday.
Let's see how he does in practice.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson took a weird hit, too, at the end of the game. Hopefully he's okay. He got stretched. I think his leg got stretched a little bit. So
he got pulled over backwards.
Now, I haven't pulled up the actual stats, but we already talked about Amari Cooper. But my God, we really need to sit back, and this will go down historically as something that we'll talk about. I mean, 10 years from now, we'll talk about Amari Cooper's, game where he caught 11 passes for 200 yards.
2,000. I'd be happy with that, though.
That would be a record.
Maybe he'll get to 2,000 by the end of these next 2 games. Tell me a little bit let's talk about Joe Flacco a little bit let's go around the room. Elliot, let me know, what do you think about Joe and his performance again, and the fact that the Browns are throwing the ball a lot, but he's producing. And I was telling Steve on the pregame show, Elliot, that I watched the Super Bowl game back in 2013, that 2012 season when they played the San Francisco 49ers, and Joe threw 3 touchdowns in that first half. They won going away. It was kind of they had a blackout, but he was splendid in that game. And that was 11 years ago. And now he's 38 years old, going to be 39, I think, on January 16th. So it's just, and the fact is, I mean, it's really true. I mean, the announcers talk about it. We talk about it here on the podcast, that the players are really buying into this whole Joe Flacco. And Elliot, what do you think? I mean, it's Flacco mania, but man, it's going the right direction. Do you see it continuing this season, and how far can we go? What do you think?
Well, as you know, I'm very skeptical about the one-man team concept. I don't believe that the Browns' success on offense is attributable to a single player. I think it's a combination of contributions from a number of players. I think Amari Cooper is the offensive MVP.
Yep.
But I think that, they need to have, David Njoku absorbs a lot of double coverage.
Yeah.
And that's why part of the reason why Amari Cooper is very good is teams have to elect to double cover somebody.
Yeah.
And, there are problems with the offensive line being so thin. The backups are not as good as the starters, and that has weakened the team.
Uh-huh.
The Browns would probably like to not use Joe as much as they are doing. It's not that it's such a great idea to throw the ball 40 times a game, but I think they feel that they have no other real option, and the running game is simply not performing up to the level that they would like it to. I think that they would, in fact, agree with me that, we'd really like to get the running game going.
Yeah.
We just haven't had the opportunity. One of the reasons why they haven't been able to is that one of the favorite formations of the Browns is the 3 tight end formation, and that blocking tight end is either Nick Harris or one of the other offensive linemen, help me out, Michael Dunn.
Yes.
But both Dunn and Harris have to be on the offensive line due to injuries, and they're actually starting on the offensive line. So there is no fullback. And they can't do that 3 tight end offense. The big, heavy jumbo offense cannot be used while the erstwhile fullback is pressed into duty on the offensive line. They can't be in 2 places at once. So I think, they're forced to rely on Flacco more than they want to. It's not really a good idea. They are throwing interceptions that they would rather not throw, and it's not all fun and games. But
he did a pretty good job today. He threw 2 interceptions.
Doing a wonderful job. He's doing more than we could hope for. But it's a double-edged sword. It's not a surefire recipe for success every game. It's not all great.
Sam, your take on Joe Flacco. By the way, I just want to throw this out. He threw the ball 42 times today. He was 27 for 42, 3 touchdowns. The 2 interceptions, both were in positions where they didn't really hurt the team too badly.
And they had no kicker.
And then, Jerome Ford, he ran the ball. They ran the ball 30 times. He ran it 15 times for 25 yards, which is a 1.7 average, which is not spectacular.
Strong ran 2.
Pierre Strong had 5 carries for 22. Kareem Hunt had 7 carries for 11 yards.
That's what makes the play action work.
Amazing stuff, though, from Amari Cooper. 11 catches, 265 yards, a 24 yards per catch average. He had the 75-yard one in the first half, 2 touchdowns, also caught a 2-point conversion. My God. Okay, Sam, talk to me about Joe Flacco, where you think this team can go with Joe.
I think they can go pretty far, but we got to figure out this running game just a little more. Like maybe 100 yards. If we can just get not even 100, let's just say we get 80 yards a game on the ground. I think just that will be enough of a threat to pull some of the pressure, not pressure, but some of the, I guess, knowledge that Joe Flacco is going to be the main reason they're going to win. And it's going to pull it away from Joe Flacco, allowing him to do a little bit more. Because I feel like the running game isn't a threat, meaning the defense is like, oh, yeah, they're going to pass it. Cool. And they can guard it better. But if the running game is even just the smallest of threats, in the back of their mind, the defense has to be paying attention slightly to the run, which will even just a little open up the pass, and it can make it even a little bit more of a powerhouse, which is what it's been for the past few weeks now. And so I think that the running game, even just 80 yards a game, even if it's 75, even if you really want to knock it down low, I think will really improve this offense.
Yeah, Steve, let me just finally with Joe Flacco and LA. You and I, we've all been around watching Cleveland Browns quarterbacks over the years and teams over the years, over the last 50 whatever years. We've all seen this team, and it just is really, to me personally, just watching this team right now with Joe. And I know we have Amari Cooper, and I know this is a topic for another day, and we're not going to talk about it. And Amari Cooper is the guy, but my God, what they are doing right now with this offense and with him behind the pocket. Steve, talk to me about what you see. That's just like for me, it's just the idea that everybody, I think, looks at him and says, we know that Joe he's an experienced quarterback. He's won a Super Bowl, and we can go far. And the players are looking to him like, we got this. Like there's a real like a non-verbal sort of like, they know that they're gonna beat a lot of teams with this, and we could go pretty far with Joe. Now, how far we go, that depends on some matchups, some things, and what happens over the next 2 weeks. But my gosh, we're 10-5, boys. See, what do you think?
Well, I'm really not worried about the running game. I am not. Prior to that second touchdown, and I hate to disagree with Elliott, but they had Posick and Batonio in.
Yeah, today they both played. Yes, that's true.
And they had Dunn and Nick Harris for their heavy package. They ran the ball 3 times and were successful. Then they put Nick Harris in the backfield and did a quite spectacular play action and hit Amari Cooper for that long second touchdown pass because they went heavy and Houston thought they were going to run the ball. All you got to do is have the illusion of running the ball. And Flacco was so good in the play action that he can he was perfect today in the play action. He was so good. He's always good in the play action. So I'm not worried about the running game. I would be worried if it's a close game late.
Yeah.
Like Sam says, you've got to run the ball late.
Yeah.
Houston, who's pretty good against the run, number 6.
Yeah.
So on first down, Steady Eddie went a little too much run heavy on a couple of first downs when he could have done a long handoff. And got caught, and then he gets caught in second down and long, and Flacco bailed him out.
Let's talk about Steady Eddie, though. I mean, I think this is a really the next topic.
I was glad to see he put the starters back in.
Well,
after they closed and the Browns got that onside kick. Yeah, I think he just went, screw it, let's go.
Absolutely.
And then,
as a coach,
Jim Schwartz put the defensive starters back.
Absolutely. And that's got to be tough on those guys, but they really screwed up. And that second unit, they just, and I know Joel, our left guard, was talking about it in our texting, and I didn't think we had a problem, but I'm glad, obviously, that we got that, getting that recovery of the second onside kick. You're still up 14. You got a comfortable lead, but I also recall a Jets game in week 2 a year ago when one Joe Flacco, playing for the Jets, down 13 in Cleveland Brown Stadium, brought their team back with 2 minutes to go. So anything can happen in the NFL.
Touchdowns with 5 minutes. They get that onside kick. Totally different game.
Oh, yeah. No, and I agree. All right, so Kevin Stefanski, let's talk about him a little bit here.
Coach of the year. He won a game without a kicker and a punter.
Sam, what do you like about Kevin Stefanski? What do you like as a young, inspiring Browns fan? What do you like most about Kevin Stefanski? Other than he looks good.
No, I feel like he's not changing in a good way. I think what he's doing is he's not changing his game plan. He's not like, oh, the running game was terrible. Let's run the ball 110 times next game. Or, this play action set didn't work very well. Let's just remove it and never use it again. I think what he's doing is he has his playbook, and unless there's specific reasons why he should change, he isn't. He's sticking with his game plan. He's doing it. He's playing his own football, and he's not trying to change it, and he's playing Kevin football. And I think what that does is it makes it instills confidence in the team, because it shows that he trusts them and that they'll eventually get it worked out. But it it also means that the team has its identity and it knows what it's going to do each game, and it's going to do the same thing. And so they get better at it over the year too. And I think what is happening right now is this culmination of everything. His game plan hasn't changed. It's been the same stuff for 16 weeks now. And it's proven to work out right now because we are doing really well. And I think he sticks with his game plan. I think that's what's his best quality right now.
With this irrational Christmas Santa Claus fan here, yes, I know I've been criticized and I've been critical of good old Steady Eddie over the years, but he's having one hell of a season. And I was so excited to see him at the end of the game. He said, F yeah. Did you see that? He mouthed it at the end of the game. F yeah. Oh yeah. We like our good old Kevin, man. Because you feed off the coach's energy. It reminds me of the good old Marty Schottenheimer. Go back to the late 80s and those teams. Marty was dedicated to those teams. And you could tell that he was a fiery kind of guy. He inspired his players. And I think that's what you're kind of starting. We've been seeing it, but now we're 10-5 thanks to Kevin Stefanski. And I couldn't be more wrong about him in this future. I look forward to him guiding this Browns team. And he's a big reason why this team is been pretty consistent. We've had our downfalls over the last 2 years, but we're not just winning 3 or 4 games. We're winning more, and we're more consistent. And now we've hit double figures. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. Sorry for that. Steve, what do you like about Steady Eddie?
Just what Sam said. He's sticking to his game plan. He's exactly right. Kevin Stefanski is calling good games. He's gotten better at game management. He's letting Jim Schwartz run the defense. Mm-hmm. And he's steady. I mean, I'm sorry. He's calling good games. He really is.
Yeah. Hey, Elliot, before we get to you, because I want to get to your take, let's pause for a quick break. This is the Fanatical Browns post-game show. Mary, the Browns beat the Houston Texans. What was the score? 36-22. We'll be right back. We're back. Merry Christmas. Woo. The Browns won 36-22. We're talking about Steady Eddie, Kevin Stefanski.
Love those commercials.
Yes. Elliot, what do you think of good old Kevin? What's your take after this big win that's given them double-figure wins now for the season?
Well, I want to sound a little bit like Hugh Jackson. I want to look at the films first. I wanted actually to respond to Steve, because he's exactly right that this game, the Browns did have Posick and did have Batonio, and they did have the personnel to run the heavy jumbo.
Yeah.
I don't know why it worked.
It always does.
Well, I mean, because, statistically, the Browns did not have very good yardage on the ground. And what I would say is that you have to be able to show that you have a viable running game before anybody will, be fooled by the RPO or play action, either one. And so I would think that a normal defense would just ignore the run and go after the passer on the run pass option. So I'm a little bit confused about why the Browns had success with that. I guess I'll put it that way. I understand, the previous games were pretty understandable to me that without the available fullbacks, because they were playing on the offensive line, that made sense. Right. We can't do that. Now that we did have the personnel, but we didn't have the yardage, why was that an effective approach? Steve suggested, that was enough of a threat that it set up the passing game. And I'm sitting here thinking, was it a threat? Why? I don't get it. I want to look at it and see why.
Steve.
Flacco can sell it.
Yeah.
He's a 15-year veteran. He can sell that play action. And they always bite on it. I mean, 4 straight games. They've been unlike them, the Houston Texans, the Browns defense was spectacular. Let's give some props to Zadarius Smith today. Guy got two sacks and was everywhere for this Browns team. He was phenomenal. We also got to give a sack to Alex Wright. Myles Garrett was causing havoc, didn't get a sack again. He stuck on 13. But my gosh, this Browns defense is total domination. And on the road, like you said, Steve,
We were wondering if this could happen, and it sure did. Yep. We got to give props to them. Just some phenomenal stuff here. By the way, thanks for joining us here on the Fanatical Elves Network. This is our post-game show. We got a group of guys here that bring shows every week to you on Apple and Spotify. Please subscribe to us. Please tell your Browns fans it's a Merry Christmas. Tell them tomorrow on Christmas Day, guys, you got to follow these Fanatical Elves guys. We got the Oracle Speaks starring Elliot there. We got Sam with the Browns breakdowns. We got Steve here with the Dog Pound South. I got my Johnny Cleveland jingle bells all the way. We got the Browns Blitz. We got with Rod Bloom. We got what else? We got What the Elf Was That with Joel Cade. My God, we just keep coming at you. We don't stop. We don't want you to stop. We want you to follow us here on
like
Fanatical
the Browns
Elves.
Defense. We're relentless.
But that Browns defense was spectacular. Zadarius Smith is having one hell of a season, and I would say he's been a big step up from Javion Clowney, the guy that he kind of replaced. Talk to me about the Browns defense, about anybody else on defense. Let's go back to you, Steve, first. Anybody on defense that you see, and we'll wrap up with this as we finish up our post game.
JOK showed up late. Good to see that. Martin Emerson didn't give up. They called 3 penalties against him. The second one was kind of iffy, but he would not give up. Dalvin Tomlinson in the middle. Alex Wright, like you said.
Yeah, Shelby Harris got a tip.
Shelby Harris got that. Another tip pass. I think he leads the league in tip passes. This defense is relentless. And Jim Schwartz brought it when he had to bring it. I loved his formations. One time I remember Houston set up with a 3 wide receiver stack on one side. And he brought a blitz and he played zone. So the wide receivers got kind of clogged up in this zone. And they got a sack. So,
I mean, Houston's just a different team without CJ Stroud, but just a great game on the road. Elliot, what were your thoughts on the defense? I know you didn't get to watch all the game. But just, the Browns got up 36-7, and the 7 came on a punt return. So really the Browns defense shut them out, and it was 36-0 basically.
Yeah, no, it was dominating defense, and you can argue that it was due to, you could take the interpretation that, well, you didn't have our franchise quarterback, we couldn't play. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a minute. We know that we did have a pretty good idea of what the other quarterback was going to do because he was our guy. For a long time. And so that was some advantage. But on the other hand, that guy knew our personnel also, but maybe did not know that much about Jim Schwartz.
Yeah.
So, I think it's a credit to the defense. It's not just the playing talent, but also the scheme has been just very, very effective. And it's been that way all season. Jim Schwartz is.
You think about it, Elliot. Like if we had done things a little bit better in a couple of these games, like Seattle. I mean, we've got away with a couple extra wins too, but we might be 11-4 at this point in the season, or maybe even 12-3. I mean,
12-3. Yeah. That's it's Pittsburgh game.
I would say this, that the Baltimore Ravens have had some phenomenal luck in encountering teams when their franchise quarterback was injured, or they were playing teams where they had a rookie quarterback making their first NFL start consistently. I like very much to see how they do against San Francisco. I think that's going to be a really good game. I think it's tonight, right? They're playing
tomorrow. It is tonight.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Monday night. Monday night
football. Oh, okay. But I'm going to watch that game for sure.
Elliot, let's go to. Sam. Defense. What do you like today about everything?
I just liked all of it, honestly. I liked. I think Jim Schwartz has been incredible. I think he's a very important piece. I think he's what really has set this defense on the really high flying trajectory it's been on. But there's a lot of people. Zadarius Smith has been holding down the edge. Myles Garrett, even though he hasn't been doing much these past few weeks, still is Myles Garrett. He's still doing his thing. Dalvin Tomlinson has been doing really well.
Yes.
I feel like people like, and even the secondary. I mean, I feel like a lot of the secondary is also helping out, especially with Denzel Ward. Obviously, Anthony Walker has been out, but he's been doing well. The defense feels complete. Feels like there isn't really, when it's playing well, I feel like there isn't much of a hole anywhere in the defense. I feel like it's a complete defense. You got the defensive coordinator, the front four, then the back seven, and I feel like that it's complete. There's not much missing right now, and so I think that's what's just making it such a good defense.
I'm going to give you one last share. Go around the room real quick here before we leave everybody. The Browns now are 10-5. They did not lock up a playoff spot yet. They can with a win on Thursday, and probably with a bunch of other things happening, even if they were to lose. Looking at the playoff pictures and everything else, what are you most excited about as you look forward to this next game, the next 2 weeks for the Browns? Sam, let's start back with you and then go back to Elliot and finish with Steve.
The Browns are making the playoffs. I feel like that's the most exciting thing. And they're making the playoffs with a really good defense. And right now, from what I've seen, a really good offense too. And I think, especially with who we're having to play, have the Jaguars played this week?
They're playing right now.
They're playing right now.
Okay, and the Colts.
Now,
they're at Tampa.
Colts lost. The Colts got beat by the Falcons today.
That means if the Jaguars win, they'll stay at the 4 seed, and if they lose, they stay at the 5. Yeah, the 4 seed. I mean.
Oh yeah, the Jaguars are doing great. They're scoring 0 points in Baker Mayfield, and the Buccaneers are 20. So the Jaguars are in striking distance.
The Buccaneers are really good, but not
Baker Mayfield getting that $1 million bonus with the win today. By the way, boys, I don't know if you knew. I heard that today.
They're going to re-sign him.
Get $1 million. I mean, I'm happy for Baker.
They are. They're going to re-sign him.
I'm still a fan of Baker.
I got to give props to Baker. I mean, Baker brought Cleveland back to reality in 2018, and I'm forever thankful for that guy for what he did for this organization and this city. I'm really people that
are listen to his coaches.
Yeah, and Browns fans that are anti-Baker and put him down, you can just shut up and just go back to your hole. I mean,
wow.
I mean, for God's sakes, man. I mean, the guy did a lot for this organization, and I don't want him to beat us in the Super Bowl, but it's nice to see the kid win. And yeah, like you said, Steve, if he had just listened to his coach back in 21, but
that would be a interesting situation.
Oh boy, let's not even go there yet. Let's not even go there. That would be, oh my God, the thought of that is just holy moly. Sam, final thought. I'm sorry, I cut you off there.
No, it's fine. I don't have much more to say. I think the Browns are a good team. They might be a contender depending on what path they end up taking in the playoffs. I feel like they could be somewhat of a sleeper team that could maybe make a run to the AFC Championship or something. Right now, I feel like Joe Flacco
right now.
continues.
I don't see them as a sleeper. You think you consider them a sleeper? I don't see them as a sleeper right now. I think everybody in the NFL
as a team that can beat anyone in the AFC.
Yeah.
I feel like they're a team that can beat anyone on the right day, even on the wrong day. I feel like occasionally these teams can beat a good team.
And Sam, to Stefanski's credit, since 2020, since he's been here, this team, even with other teams, and including Baker Mayfield, on any given day, that team or this team now or back in 2020 or even 2021, they could beat anybody, and they could have been Super Bowl contenders. And we're still talking about it because good old steady Eddie. So I agree with you, Sam. Elliot, final takes tonight before we let everybody go.
Well, yeah, I still think teams ought to have some backups on the practice squad at quarterback, and they ought to have a backup kicker and a backup punter. Those positions are important. Why do I keep on saying these? The prophets were given the gift of prophecy by the gods, but they were cursed because the people would never believe them. That's what I feel like.
By the way, the Fanatical Elves Network is going to be giving away another. I'm looking at Amari Cooper T-shirt. How many of you would like an Amari Cooper T-shirt
I don't
today?
want one, so that I already own one.
Well, there's some Browns fans out there, so that will be our giveaway. So tune in to the X later tonight as we have a giveaway. You got to follow the show, though. You got to follow the show and repost it. So get ready, fans, to get a Amari Cooper T-shirt. Elliot,
we're giving away 265.
265 Amari.
Yes,
Cooper.
we are. Yeah, the rich man over there, Elliot's giving away 265. I want to give a shout out to my son Clay too. He Christmas gift us. They're all families downstairs, and they wonderful gift from the kids. We got a new Samsung 75-inch TV to watch our Brownies. Holy moly. I can't believe it. Thank you, Clay Stiltner. You're great. Jets. We love you. And go Browns. So I'm just got to throw that out there because Clay Stiltner is a great guy. I don't know if they heard me down there. Hey, Clay, you around? I gave you a shout out. We're live on the podcast. Gave you a shout out for that enormous TV that's sitting down there that we're going to put up on our stage. Sorry. Okay. Back to reality. Okay.
I mean, technically that was still reality.
Okay. Sorry. Elliot, I'm sorry. I'm cutting everybody off tonight because I'm so excited. The Browns won.
Well, I'm just really intimidated because the New York Jets have a franchise quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, and his mystique is going to rub off on them, and we have to play them on Thursday.
Well, that's okay. That's okay.
I'll be there, by the way. I see no problem with the New York Jets. I see no problem with
the New York Jets were up, I think, 27-0. The Commanders took the lead 28-27, and then they lost. The Jets beat them on a last-second field goal. So congrats to the Jets for 3 days, and then we'll hopefully crush them Thursday.
Goodbye, Ron Rivera.
Field goal. Anyway. That's right. Okay, Steve, final thoughts on the afternoon. What a great day. Merry Christmas.
Victory. I am completely happy. Steady Eddie played well. I mean, called a very good game. A little questionable calls there in the second half. Glad to see him put the starters back in. Glad to see Jim Schwartz put the starters back in.
Yep.
That was basically them saying, screw this, we want to win this game. So I like that attitude.
Yes.
In the past, they would have just gone, no, keep the backups in. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I think that we will see workouts for kickers unless Andrew Berry already has one in his pocket.
Oh, I have one.
I think that Bajorquez will be fine. He was walking around, but they need a kicker.
Yeah.
Hopkins, I think, will come back by the Cincinnati game.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, Cincinnati, stick a fork in them. Like I said, they're done.
Yeah.
I think the Browns can clinch on
Might have
Thursday.
to go. Yeah, Matt, Thursday would be great because it'd be in front of the hometown fans. I'll be there with my son, Alec, the Malik. We'll be down there at Cleveland Browns Stadium Thursday night. Yes. Prime time. Johnny Cleveland, the podcast. We'll all be there. We're excited. Hopefully they'll lock up the division. Steve, I cut you off. So I'm cutting everybody else. Everybody off.
Zane Gonzalez.
Zane Gonzalez. Oh, I like the name. Yes,
he's available, and
let's get him.
Remember Zane Gonzalez?
Yeah, he's available, and he's kicked in Cleveland.
Hey Elliot, what was great about the 2013 Super Bowl was that
nothing.
Justin Tucker was a rookie out of Texas that year, and he's still kicking for those damn Ratbirds up there in Baltimore.
You can get him.
Yeah, go get him.
Yeah, let's trade for him.
F those Ratbirds.
Yeah, by the way, Cade York is on IR, so we can't get him.
Oh, yes, I saw that yesterday. Yeah, I knew that you'd be disappointed.
The next Justin Tucker is not available.
Well, hey, we've hit the 40-minute mark here on our post-game show. We are so wrapped up. Christmas Eve is tonight. I hope Santa comes to your house and brings you lots of presents. That's all my son, Alec Grantman, all he wants since 365 days ago was presents. Anytime you mention Christmas, it's presents, Presents? We want presents. We all want presents. Well, guess what? We got a big present today. If you're a Cleveland Browns fan, big win, 36-22 over the Houston Texans. Way to go, Browns. Way to bring it. We got win number 10. Good old Steady Eddie helping this team move forward. Joe Flacco-mania is in full force. Sam, thank you for being here. Elliot, thank you for being here. Steve, thank you for being here. The Fanatical Elves Network will continue with a lot more shows, maybe not on Christmas Day, which is tomorrow, but we'll have a lot of shows talking about this game. And I'll probably bring you a Johnny Cleveland special tomorrow. Okay. All right, everybody.
Can I just mention something? It's a Thursday game. If you are tuning into my podcast, I'm doing 2 both on Wednesday. My look forward and my look back, just because I can't do it on Saturday. So if you're going to listen to my podcast, it's 2 on Wednesday.
All right.
Wow.
We'll be bringing you shows every day of the week. Probably our Fanatical Elves show will have to be a day early if anybody's available. Even the fans out there, if you want to join us. So, Elliot, thank you again. Steve, thank you again. And Sam, thank you again. Go Browns.
Go Browns.
They win 36-22.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
See right here.
And, well, we're not off.